beautiful beaders, it's Gina from Orchid and Opal.com, and today I have both of the best bead boxes from Potomac Beads. I have the regular version, which starts at $25.99, and I have the XL version, which starts at $39.99, and I do have a coupon code to share with you guys. That code is OPAL10, OPAL10 with a capital O, and I will leave that as well as the link to the subscription right down below the video if you'd like to check it out and get all the details. Since the contents of these boxes do overlap, what I like to do is go through the base box with you guys first and then open up the XL version of the box, because the XL version has everything the base box has plus more, and then we can kind of compare and see if there's any different color choices and see which contents are in the XL version of the box that weren't in the base box. So let's go ahead and get into the first one. And one little thing to note is the packaging has changed just a little bit. The texture of the box is different. It has more of a smooth cardboard feel as opposed to the kind of fabric feeling that it had before, but it's still magnetic, which I like, and it's still very sturdy. So these boxes will also be great for storage or reusing, just like the other ones were. So when we open it up, we see a card on the top. It tells us what our theme is this month. It's called Poolside Glam. I recently created a bracelet called the Poolside Bracelet. I think we must have been on the same wavelength. So it talks a little bit about our theme here. We're gonna go on a bit of a resort vacation with this box. And then inside the card, we have the list of everything that is included inside the box, so we know what we're getting. You can also, of course, get more of these items on PotomacBeads.com, since they are a large online bead shop. And of course, we have the link down here, which takes you to more ideas on their site, because they have hundreds and hundreds of them to choose from, which give you inspiration on what to do with some of these beads. Now, the other thing you get is a pattern. So with the base box, you get one pattern each month, and you get all the materials you need to make that pattern. So it looks like our pattern for this month is the Poolside Glam Choker. And they also have a video to go along with this tutorial, which I'm sure will be very helpful. And then here we have a peek at what is inside the box. It looks like we don't have those little shreds of paper that we had before, which is fine with me. This is a little bit neater. And so when we take out the contents, what we see here on top is a bag that first contains everything that is going to be inside of that Poolside Glam Choker pattern. So let's open that up and take a little peek, and you can see that some of these materials are now coming wrapped in these heat sealed bags. So I won't be opening up those materials to give you a close look, but if it is in a zip top bag, I will open that up and show you like I normally do. So of course, the first item we have are some Potomac crystal rondelles, and these are in the 1.5 by 2 millimeter size, so little tiny ones. We also have a package containing some Miyuki 15-0 seed beads. I received mine in the silver tone. And then also a 12 millimeter Potomac crystal cushion cut stone. So there is a look at that, just a solid black cushion cut, and then the clasp to go along with that pattern. All right, so now that we've taken a look at the pattern and the contents, we'll get into the other contents of the box now. And these are items you can use to bulk up your stash. There's usually an assortment between beads, findings, pendants, that sort of thing. So it's usually a pretty eclectic mix. Now we're going to start out with this very wild pendant. This is called the Tropical Leaf Pendant. It is made out of resin, and let's pop this out and get a closer look at it. There's a lot going on here. So here's a look at the pendant. It is not my particular style, just being totally honest, but I still think it's a lot of fun, and I still enjoy beading with things that aren't particularly my style because they're great to make for other people. And sometimes when you create with an item you don't think you're drawn to, you end up liking it more in a finished piece. But anyway, here's the hole right here. It is kind of a slim pendant, pretty lightweight because it's resin. And as you can see, it's got different strips of color. We have kind of what looks like a tiger print. We have some light pink. We have some tangerine and this creamy white, as well as a little bit of clear that lets some of that light through. So a very tropical start to our contents. And it kind of reminds me of some of the wild contrasting prints that you see on bathing suits. So I can totally see why they put that in the box. The next item is a pair of gold monstera leaf earrings. That's interesting. Okay, so there's the posts on the back. And I won't take those off yet, but this is a beautiful soft gold. These are a thin metallic, like punched out leaf shape, something that you could embellish as much as you want. You see all the little spaces where you could add things to the bottom of these leaves or wrap around them. So that should be interesting. All right, and then next we have one glass cabochon in a 20mm size, and I have to laugh because this pattern, I actually have a water bottle in this exact pattern. I usually have it with me. I would put it next to this cabochon just because I think that's funny, but it is not on my table today. But anyway, you have this light pink in the background and then the rich green palm leaves. So obviously I like this print. I hadn't thought about it being in a cabochon form before, but I do like this print and it definitely follows the theme. I think that's a lot of fun. And then next we have a bag of O beads. I received mine in this gorgeous turquoise shade. I just love this color. They have kind of a matte finish. These are great to use in certain bead weaving projects where you need that amount of spacing in between something else, and they add a really pretty sliver of color. Good size handful of those. Then next up we have a bag containing some faceted pony beads. These are the check glass variety. They are quite gorgeous, that color mix. They look like little candies. And they have the larger holes there. As you can see, we have some minty green, some light pink swirled around. Parts of them are creamier and parts of them are a bit translucent, making them all just a little bit different. Such a pretty pastel combination. And with these, the holes being bigger, you could actually string these onto some light chain or some different forms of cording. I actually think the color goes really well with these O beads if you were to use these together. And then next up, we have a bag containing the 2-hole bar beads. There's 4 grams inside of this bag. You can see that these are a very thin oval shape with the 2 holes there running through the face of the beads. And the color, as you can see, I received is called teal. Very appropriate poolside type color. And then our next package contains 4 grams of these silver tublet beads. So these are the Potomac variation on bugle beads. They're a little bit thicker. The edges aren't as sharp like bugle beads, and you can use them in a similar way. I haven't played around with these much yet, but I am glad to have them, and a silver metallic is always welcome in my bead stash. And then next up, we have a bag of lava beads. These are 8mm in size, and there's 10 grams inside. And these are a white variety, which is pretty cool. A lot of times you see them in the darker black or dark gray. And I believe you can use these for essential oil diffusing since they are pretty porous. The next package of beads contains some Super 8. These are in the silver rainbow color, and there's 3 grams inside this bag. It's a gorgeous color with that rainbow metallic shimmer. And these Super 8s, they're kind of similar to Super Duos. They're a little bit slimmer, but just like Super Duos, they have the double holes, and from the profile, they also have that kind of slim pinched in shape. Next up, we have some findings. These are some square frames in a 15mm size. And here's a look at these. These are great for so many different things, including brick stitch. I have some tutorials and one I recently shared on a triangle component, just like this, where I did some brick stitch on that. These are very versatile and another item that I'm always happy to get to play around with. And then next we have some pewter rings. There's 2 of them in this bag. And here's a close-up look. So kind of similar to the square components, except these have a little bit more detail to them. There's a look at the side profile. Something else you can bead onto. And actually what I didn't notice right away was these have holes. So there is a hole running through each side of these. So you could use these as sort of like a little bead frame if you want to, and put something inside of that. That's pretty cool. And then the last item for this base box is in this bag. It's a cosmic ring, which is made of glass. And there is a look at that. We've gotten something similar to this before. Was it a triangle? And we made a pendant out of it. It was a project that they had included in one of their previous boxes. So this is kind of similar to that, just a round circular crystal component, very pretty with that combination of crystal and golden tone there around the edges. Something else that you can bead onto or turn into a pretty connector. So that's everything for the best bead box, just the base version. I really like all the variety and things they included, and of course the pattern. I think that's a huge benefit, especially if you're new to bead weaving and you're trying to learn more about it. It's a great way to learn how to follow one of their patterns along with a video, if that's easier for you, and have all the materials you need to go along with that and not have to source all of that out. And even if you're not new, like me, I still enjoy doing some of these patterns sometimes in order to make something new and different. So now that we've seen the contents of the base box, I'm going to clean this up a little bit and we will take a look at the XL version of the box, see if I have any variations in that one, and then see what else you would get on top of everything you see here. All right, so let's crack open the XL box. When we open it up, you can see it looks pretty much exactly the same with the card on the top, except this is the card for the XL version, of course. And so when we open that up, we have a longer list of items inside, and you can also see that we have the contents for 2 patterns, plus we have an extra bonus pattern to take a look at. So those patterns are right down below. We have the poolside glam choker that we already took a look at. But we also have this gorgeous mermaid's tail bracelet and everything included in the box for that. And below that, we have a bonus pattern, which is the crystal tassel earrings. So the materials for this are not necessarily in the box, but you can find them on potomacbeads.com. And then when we dig into the contents, once again, we see that we have our bag on top full of the contents for the poolside glam choker. Let's see if there's any differences in this bag from the base box. And it actually looks like this time all of the contents and colors are the same. Sometimes the colors can vary a little bit from box to box. So it's possible if you got this box, your colors may be different and mine are just the same this time. Then we have the contents for the mermaid's tail bracelet, which we will get into in just a moment. And let's see what overlaps. So again, we have the 1 beads in that same beautiful turquoise color. We have the lava beads, and I received them in the same white. Also, the same gold leaf earrings and tubelets and the 2-hole bars. The very same palm leaf cabochon. The same cosmic ring. Here's the package of those beautiful faceted pony beads. The same 2 square components, and here are where some of our differences are. So here's one. These are the pewter rings. You can see that these are different. They also have a bit of texture to them, but no hole running through each side. So just basic plain round rings that you can bead around or use to connect with. And then here's the selection of the Super 8 beads that I received in the XL box. And these are just a silver metallic without the rainbow on them. Still very pretty. These are the Labrador full coat. And then here's the tropical resin leaf for the XL version. Lots different than the first version. I actually like this one a little bit more. Let's take this out. And here is a look at that. So all these are going to be a little bit different, I'm sure, all with their own wild and crazy color combinations. All right, so now for the rest of the contents. We have that other pattern, again, called the mermaid's tail bracelet, and I think they just posted this video, and I saw the image of it come up, and it looked gorgeous. So I'm happy to get this and try it out. I like the way these colors are flowing together in the theme from the base box. So let's see what colors I got to go with that mermaid tail bracelet pattern. First of all, I have a bag containing some of these Miyuki long magatamas. There's 7 grams inside the bag, and mine are in this very light bone color, really neutral selection. And then also a package of diamond duos, and these are a backlit variety. So you can see how they have the clear top with the metallic backing that's flashing those vibrant colors forward, reflecting off the back. And as you can see, these are smaller than their cousins, the regular diamond duos. Next up is a package of the dragon scale beads. That ought to be fun. Again, I haven't played with these really yet, and I can see where they go really well in that pattern down there. So I received mine in this silver metallic. Everything they sent for this bracelet looking very good color-wise. And then next, a package of some Miyuki seed beads in the size 11-0. That's a gorgeous shade of periwinkle with a silver lining. There's 10 grams inside this package, and as I've said before, they always send more than you need for these patterns, so you end up with enough to make the pattern, but also extra in most cases. Here's the next bag, and it contains the Potomac crystal navette you need to pop into that bracelet. And I love that opalescent creamy white variety that they sent. You can see that these are sew-on crystals already in their settings. They have the holes there, and you can bead weave with these just as they are. And then finally, one of these small magnetic disc clasps to finish it all off. And now we just have a few more additional items to finish up our XL contents. The first one being this cup button that I have in this bag, which has a gorgeous finish on it. Check that out. These make awesome clasps and fit right in with your beadwork. That is beautiful, that blue and green combination. It's got a little bit of a luster shine and a travertine-like finish, which makes it look a little more stone-like. That will be beautiful. There is also a round gemstone pendant in this bag. And you can see that here, that is lovely. So this looks to be howlite, and it is wrapped neatly in this golden toned brass frame. And it's got some slight faceting that you can see on both sides, very pretty. And then our last bag of beads is this one. These are some size 2-0 Miyuki seed beads. So very big, probably the biggest seed beads I own now. And I love this combination with the clear outside and that beautiful metallic lining that comes through. And you can see the tones of blue and green and gold. That is so cool. And there are 4 grams inside that package. So that was all for the beads, and then the very last item is in this bag. This is a mermaid bookmark. I received mine in the antique brass tone of metal. How fun, and very appropriate for our poolside theme. That is very cute. It is double-sided, feels very sturdy, and there's the loop there where you can attach some beads and hang them off and make this bookmark your own. All right, guys, so that is everything for the poolside glam version of the Best Bead Box and the Best Bead Box XL. If you want to sign up, I do have a link for their subscription right down below the video, as well as that coupon code, which is Opal10 with a capital O, and that will save you 10% off your subscription. I really like what is contained in this box. I think they did a great job finding a lot of different items. You have multi-hole and interesting shaped beads. You have different sizes of seed beads. You have metal finding components. You have some crystals. You have some pendants. Enough variety to keep it interesting, and it actually all follows a pretty cohesive color theme when everything's laid out. And then of course you get your 3 patterns in the XL version, 2 of which have all the contents you need to make those particular designs plus more, making this a very well-rounded box that I would highly recommend, especially if you're leaning towards doing bead weaving and you want to play with different shapes, and it makes you comfortable to have the patterns and the materials all ready to go. I hope this unboxing was helpful for you guys. I always like to bring you these to give you an up close and personal look on what's included so you can make a decision as to whether or not this box is right for you. Also, thank you so much for being with me here today. It's always much more fun for me to be able to share the contents with you guys, and I'd love to hear what you have to say down below. Let me know what you think of the contents, what you think of the patterns. If you've subscribed to this box, let us know your experience or anything else you'd like to say. And until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Please stay healthy and well as best as you can, and creative, of course. And as always, Happy beading! If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. For more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of my latest videos. You can check out the information section below this video for links to all my social media handles, recommended products, and my shop and blog at orchidandopal.com. Thanks for watching!